Hello, everybody. Welcome to Soundscape. On today's episode, we have somebody who is very familiar to the party goers of Trivandrum. He is DJ Akhil. Let's welcome him to the show. Thanks for
Hello.
coming on the show.
Thank you so much. Hi.
Welcome. All right. So on the show, we usually, try to get to know a musician really quick in just
Wonderful.
20 minutes. so let's get right into it. So how do you get bitten by the music bug? What inspired you to become a DJ?
In fact, I did my graduation in Chennai, so I started clubbing during 2004, 2005. So initially, I started off with, I started going to clubs, and I was more into hip hop and R&B and all. And 2007, I had put my hands on the decks, and ever since I've been playing music. So since last 2 years, I've resigned from my job, so I've officially taken up like DJing and stuff. Like, so it's going pretty well actually.
So Akhil, when you put your hands on the deck, like you said, did you have any musical background with any sort of musical instrument?
No, in fact, I did classical training for almost 10 years. I was more, in, I mean, I was, I've been a vocalist, so I've been on and off with music, like, dance and stuff. So always this cultural vibe was always there in my head. And yeah, DJing was actually something which got into my head, and I really got passionate about it. And yeah, so as of now, I've established myself in this market, so it is going pretty well. And yeah, it's all because of the base what I had from Carnatic music. Like, I got into this.
Already
Yeah,
absorbed.
yeah, so over a period of time, like, you get graduated from one music to the other. So that's how I got into electronic music. So now I haven't stopped yet. I keep researching on my music. So I do travel. I try to talk to artists, and I go for festivals like abroad. Like, I've been to Time Warp, which happened in Mannheim. I've been to Berlin, I've been to Amsterdam for music festivals. So I gain a lot, I meet a lot of artists, like, so music for me, it's like a never ending process. So you get introduced to new genre, and you get introduced to new artists. And yeah, it's been a never ending journey for me. So like, you will never feel that you have achieved, you are in
constant
that
evolution.
stage, like, so. Yeah, so it's going pretty well. Like, I'm pretty happy with whatever is happening with the music scene these days. Yeah. So
That's very interesting. So Akhil, as you know, I'm sure, DJing, it's not a very clear path to where you are now. So how did you educate yourself? Did you, when you were younger, did you seek some sort of tutorship with somebody? Or?
no, I've been a hotelier. Like, so for almost 10 years I've worked with the hotel industry. So the hotels where I used to work earlier, they had clubs, and during weekends they had this club night. And so I used to be there at the club, and like, I used to have good interaction with the DJ. So I used to stand close to him. I used to watch like what he's been doing. So as far as I've understood, like, if you have got the passion, if you have got the passion, and if you got the hardware right in front of you, and if there is someone who can teach a bit of it, like, so you can get into it. It's more like, if you know how to play football, you might even end up playing cricket and volleyball. Like, so it is more if you have that music thing in you, so it is you can always go experimental. Like, so that age was favorable. Like, so that is I was way too young. Like, so I had just passed out from the college. So at that time, like, you get exposed to this kind of instrument, so you have time to invest, like, on all this. Yeah, so I found it very interesting, and like later on I did a lot of research on that, and I kept downloading music. And yeah, so I still do that, like, on a daily basis.
So as part of your learning procedure, besides watching the local players up close, do you have any idols, somebody that you worship, or somebody like that?
Yeah, again, it's a difficult question, but as of now, I've been following quite a lot of DJs based out of Berlin, Hamburg. Like, there is a favorite DJ of mine, like, whom I've been following like these days. He's DJ Solomon. He's from Hamburg. Then there is this legendary artist, like, Carl Cox, based out of London. Then yeah, I've been following a lot of Indian DJs as well, like, who are there into international scene. For example, Arjun Vagale, then Ashroy, Kamchor. So these are my favorite DJs whom I've been. Not, yeah, they are my favorite DJs, but there are many other DJs whom I've been following. So these are the names which, when you had asked me this, like which clicked in my head.
Prominent
actually.
ones.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Very interesting.
So, yeah, so now Indian DJs are also getting into international platform, and they have been performing really good. So I would like to see myself there eventually, probably after maybe another 3 years of time. Yeah. So there's a lot of hard work and there's a lot of effort behind it. So I'll keep my focus on, and yeah, let's see. Probably one day I'm also there in that list. Let's see.
Very nice to know that the scene in the country is,
Yes.
progressing. Akhil, something I should probably ask you, because, a lot of people have asked me this question, even I produced this a little before we started shooting. So, what does a DJ player actually do? For a layman, I'm sure they just know you, they see you turning the knobs, grab the headphones, but
Yeah.
I'm sure they wouldn't know the technicals behind it.
So basically, we DJs, we have, see, now there are a lot of a lot of patterns where people do creative DJing, where they use samples and where they create live music. So that is the trending thing which is coming up now. So as of now, the DJs, what we have been doing, we have been collecting bits and pieces of music. So we try to each track, it has got different pace, so we call it as BPM, so it has got different pace, the speed of the tracks will be different. So we try to blend one track to the other without having a glitch. So if you're dancing, all of a sudden if you're playing it on a tape recorder, or if you're playing it on a in the car, you might be grooving to it, all of a sudden the song stops and you are waiting for the next song. So DJs, what we do, we try to connect that music. So we are basically connecting the vibe. Okay. So before one track gets over, we try to push the other one. For that, you can't just it is a difficult job, because you have to maintain the mood, you have to maintain the vibe. So that track has to go. It is a risky, it is an intuition, it is a thing, a risk what we take. We kind of think, okay, this might work. If it does, it could happen, people might not like the track. So over a period of time, with your experience, you kind of you gain that confidence, for the fact, so you push this track and people are gonna dance. So what we do with the headphones out there, when we are playing music, there are speakers which are kept, so from the speakers which are kept for the audience, people get to hear what is what is the DJ, what the DJ is playing right then. And there are monitors which are kept, DJ get to hear what is playing, what has been playing outside, and in the headphones he is listening to the track which he is going to play next. And he has to cue the track, he has to make sure from where he has to start the track, and it should go with the same beat. So he is trying to you must have seen the DJ touching the jog wheel and adjusting, so he's basically doing, he's adjusting the tempo of the track. So so one track might be 118, the other track is 120. So he tries to adjust 120 to 118 or 118 to 120, and he try to adjust the track accordingly. So that is what we do basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's you kind of matching.
Yeah, so we do the beat matching, and after once when you make sure okay, so this track is ready, that is when you push the track for the audience. So this is what we do, and we do a lot of live effects, so we might do a lot of tricks with the mixer and the player, some DJs you must have seen, a lot of people do with the hip hop, they do scratching. So which is again difficult thing, so for that you need a lot of practice. You should know what you should know in and out about the hardware, so that's what we do basically. Yeah,
Very interesting and very informative. So next time you see a DJ player doing the thing, you know what it is. Okay, I gathered from my conversation earlier that if somebody really has the determination, he can certainly be a DJ. So besides that, do you have any sort of pointers or some sort of guidelines for those aspirants?
see, first of all, we should be able to appreciate any genre for that fact. I personally, even though I play techno or house or progressive, if I end up being in a club where there is a DJ playing hip hop, you should be able to appreciate the way he mixed the track, he choose the track, the way he's been able to connect with the crowd. So it's basically we should gather a lot of music and we should be able to we should, I mean, we should be able to sort the tracks properly first of all, like, you know, before becoming a DJ, before getting into, you know, before pursuing career in DJing, like, you know, you should have the right music with you, and you should imagine, like, you know, I mean, when you're playing a track, e track in its session, probably this track might go well, this might, like, you know, I mean, boost up, like, you know, or like uplift what I mean, people are the, I mean, for example, ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മളൊരു പാട്ട് കേട്ടുകൊണ്ട് ഡാൻസ് കളിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു, അപ്പോൾ all of a sudden the next track might elevate your mood completely. മനസ്സിലായില്ലേ? So it is so you once when we start collecting tracks, you will already be having something in your mind, like e track in a part track poyekam. So first of all, we should gather music and we should watch and then if there is, you have internet, you have everything right in front of you, like, and you can go to YouTube and see, like, you know, I mean, if there is any ഇപ്പോൾ എല്ലാ DJs അവരുടെ സെറ്റ്സ് ഒക്കെ യൂട്യൂബിൽ റിലീസ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. So you get to see how they are mixing the track, like, you know, I mean, ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ യൂട്യൂബിനകത്ത് നോക്കാൻ, you get to see the track list also, what all track list he had played, like, you know, so probably ഇന്നലെ ഇബീസയിൽ നടന്നൊരു പാർട്ടി ഇന്ന് നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ യൂട്യൂബിൽ നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ പറ്റും അതിൻ്റെ സെറ്റ്, അതിൻ്റെ തൊട്ട് താഴെ ആരെങ്കിലും അതിൻ്റെ ട്രാക്ക് ലിസ്റ്റും കമൻറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. സോ you should be able to you should have that mind to research about all these things. എല്ലാ ദിവസവും മിനിമം ഒരു 10 ട്രാക്കെങ്കിലും ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു റെക്കോർഡ് ലേബിൾ റിലീസ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടാവും. സോ യു ഷുഡ് ഹാവ് നമ്മൾ ഇതിൻ്റെ അകത്തേക്ക് പാഷനേറ്റ് ആകുമ്പോൾ, ലൈക്ക്, യു ഷുഡ് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ഫോളോയിങ് ഓൾ ദീസ് തിങ്സ്. യു ഷുഡ് ഗോ ടു ആൻ ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റ് പേജ്, ലൈക്ക്, യു നോ, സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ഫോളോയിങ് ഹിം ഓൺ ഫേസ്ബുക്ക്, ഇൻസ്റ്റഗ്രാം, പിന്നെ അവരുടെ സൗണ്ട് ക്ലൗഡ്. സോ യു കീപ് ഗെറ്റിംഗ് നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻസ്, ലൈക്ക്, യു നോ, മീൻ, സോ ഇങ്ങനെയാണ് യു ആക്ച്വലി ഗെറ്റ് ഇൻ ടു ദ സീൻ. absolutely and അതെ, ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ പാർട്ടിക്കൊക്കെ പോകുന്ന സമയത്ത് instead of, like, you know, getting lost, we should try to do a lot of networking. You might meet, like, you know, I mean, amazing party promoters, you might meet good artists, like, you know, so that is how you try to get connect with these people and you get an opportunity, like, you know, I mean, you should put your 100% and, you know, നമ്മൾ ആ ഒരു കിട്ടിയ ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റിയെ നമ്മളെ കയ്യിൽ നിന്ന് വിടാത്ത മാതിരി, ലൈക്ക്, യു നോ, യു ഷുഡ് പുട്ട് യുവർ 100% and establish the scene, you know, so that's what I've got to say for this scene actually.
All right, so that was very informative. I'm sure a lot of people did benefit from that, yeah, because we don't usually hear this, because the path towards being a DJ is quite not clear for most of us. All right, so we are at the end of this very informative episode, and it's time for me to say bye to DJ Akhil here. Such a pleasure having you here, and I'm sure you answered a lot of questions in a lot of minds. And
Thank you so much.
I wish you the best with all your future projects and everything, and I'm sure there will be more DJs coming up.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
All right, so that's it for now. I hope you had a good time watching us. Catch me on the next week's episode. It's Tara. Till then.